I can hear you loud and clear.
Nice, good, good. I'm glad I'm coming through 5 by 5. I like it. I like that. Well, welcome to the Thursdays Promote Your Post show. Only about 12 people here. I've noticed this is an emerging trend. We start off maybe 12, 15, give it 20 minutes, the room is rammed. So I don't know why this is happening. It's odd. It never used to go like this. Question mark. Who knows? But anyway, thank you for joining at the start of the show. It's good to have you with us. And tonight, I am joined by an assistant. I do hope he's on his way. He's a bit laid back. He's a bit casual. It's because he's Swedish. It's Rico. So I'm hoping he's on his way. And we can have a quick chat with him if he comes, if he can be bothered. I just want to say tonight that you guys are getting a 7 Beyond Bit upvote on all posts that are presented. That's courtesy of Steam Power Picks. There he goes. Give him away. He's a very nice chap. So that's a 7 Beyond Bit upvote going on posts tonight. Currently worth around, I think it's $2.50, I think he said, which is pretty decent. So that's nice. Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. Don't forget, we're also broadcasting live on YouTube as well. So I'm just letting you know that this show does go out on YouTube as well. And there's the link. Should you want to check it out at any stage? There it is. Okay. Right. I am going to just pause for a moment and just quickly check and see where Rico is. Talk amongst yourselves.
Freedom swearing in messages right now.
Oh, like you don't know it. My God, I can't even broadcast some of these words.
Fibbity gibbet.
I know I was hoping Rico does show up because he's actually in my post.
Well, yes, this is it. Rico was doing a show for PAL tonight. He's in demand. And he's I think he got a bit confused because the show apparently has ended just now, but I thought it ended an hour ago. So I'm assuming he's wrapping up there, maybe. I don't know. It was on PAL. Snecky, can you just check to see if he is still actually in that show? In fact, I can do that, can't I? Hang on. Yes, he is.
Yeah, still there.
He's still there. I might just give him... well, look, what I'll do is I'll let him wrap up because he is a busy man tonight, and I'll just crack on. I'm sure he'll join us. So I'm going to get started. Right, I'm going to put my post up. There it is. Give me some love, baby. It's always nice to feel the appreciation. Nice to get a few votes. I give out lots of votes in these shows, so please give me some votes. I'd be very, very grateful to you. So there's my post. There it is. Get voting on it. Thank you very much indeed. Right, going to start. And I think first up, I am going to call Maru. Maru, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. How are you?
Great. I'm great. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here. And I'm always first. Why is that?
Are you? Oh, you shouldn't say that because I better move on to somebody else then, hadn't I?
No, don't worry. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
I'm joking. Don't worry. Carry on. What have you got for us tonight, Maru? And here's Rico. Hey, Rico. Oh, I love it. Tell us.
Well, hi guys. My post is called Messages for the Future, the Time Capsule Made for Aliens, in which I talk about how in 1977, NASA sent to space 2 probes called Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. They basically send them with the mission of studying our solar system, specifically Jupiter and Saturn. But because of their success, the mission has been extended 3 times already. And now Voyager 1 is currently in interstellar space and Voyager 2 in the heliosphere. But like I say in my post, NASA didn't want the probes to go alone. They wanted them to have a message for advanced civilizations. So they basically built a time capsule they named the Golden Records, Sounds of Earth. Both probes are expected to work until 2025, after which there may not be any power for them to work. but right now they are basically doing history. The famous astronomer Carl Sagan was the one in charge of the committee that chose the content of the golden records. They chose 155 images with common sounds of Earth, like the sound of wind, whales, laughter, footsteps, music from different cultures. They also added greetings in 55 modern and ancient languages. And in the post, I put a video where you can hear a greeting from the former General Secretary of the United Nations, which is actually the first audio on the record. And for about science, like physical and mathematical, also about DNA and then the photographs are about our life on Earth as humans, basically technological advances, means of transportation, and others. But the photographs are not only about humans, but also about animals, plants, insects, and landscapes on Earth. And they basically did this to send a proof of our existence and also to build something that will represent the whole humanity and our planet. Of course, there is the fact that we don't know who might find it.
As the Secretary General of the United Nations,
I don't know. I just think it's very interesting that they decided to do something like this, and I think everyone should know it because, I mean, it represents us as humanity, so we should know something about it. And thank you so much again for the opportunity. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I find this subject mind-blowing, really, because there is so much stuff that we don't know about the universe. And, you know, when I come across posts like this that try and give us an insight into what's going on out there, I find all this stuff fascinating. I really do. This is a great post. Again, really well researched. I love it. But what I want to ask you is, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, are both of them still out there or just one of them?
Yes, both of them are still out there. Like I say on the post, Voyager 1 is in interstellar space, which is the space where our sun doesn't have influence. And Voyager 2 is in the heliosphere, which is the place that comes before interstellar space.
Okay, and I'm just reading through the post. Apparently there are 2 gold-plated copper LPs that carry greetings and sounds and music from our planet. So is it pumping those sounds out around the solar system, around the universe as it travels around?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, I'm saying, I'm just reading. Apparently there are, from your post, there are 2 gold-plated copper LPs that carry greetings, sounds and music from our planet. Are you saying it pumps those sounds out into the universe?
Well, basically Carl Sagan said that the LP will only be reproduced if an advanced civilization finds it. And also in the cover of the LPs, there are symbolic instructions of how the record has to be played, so they will only be played if an advanced.
Okay, I get it. I get it. Oh wow, that's amazing. That is absolutely astonishing. I mean, imagine they did do that and sent us something back. Oh my God, we'd freak out.
And they are them. I mean, they build them in a way that lasts longer than Earth itself.
So, Maru, can I ask you? Let's just say somebody did find the rocket or the Voyager, whatever it is, satellite. Let's just say they found it. They found the instructions. They found the LP, and they sent us something back. How would you feel?
I think that will be absolutely mind-blowing, and that's what I hope. I will love for them to answer back, because to know that someone found it and understood what was inside, I don't know. I think.
But what if they don't like us? What if they don't like us? And instead of sending back music, they send us back a bomb or something?
Yes, that's the other part. Well, I'm a positive person. Maybe they like us. But of course, there is the possibility that they won't, and maybe they send us a bomb or something like that. And they actually...
Or as Sweeney Guy says, they could send us back some kind of germ some kind of germs, you know, to harm us.
They want to be our friends. Trust me on that.
How do you know, Bug? How do you know?
I can tell you, it's totally provable if you want to know.
Well, I would be like absolutely, I don't know, amazed with the fact that we have a planet with an atmosphere, that we have plants, animals, and I mean technological advances that are, I mean, well, maybe they don't compare with what they have if you're talking about, I don't know, an absolutely advanced civilization, but maybe I think they will find us very fascinating. But there is the thing that maybe if they answer back, we won't hear about it. Maybe in, I don't know, many years, because the message will take a long time to get here.
Well, I mean, this is it. There's no point living in ignorance. You know, if there's something out there, we want to know. Whether it's friendly or not, obviously, is a separate question. But I'm interested to know why the Bug thinks it's going to be all, you know, all sweet. Bug, what do you know that I don't?
Dude, you're out there in the universe and you find a spacecraft with gold-plated records, LPs. I'm grabbing an Uber to Earth. I want those people as friends, and I want more records.
Fair enough. There you go.
Plus, humans are probably the only ones who want to kill everybody else, so we might be malicious without.
If I find gold discs flying around in space, I'm tracking them down because where they came from's got more gold, and I like gold.
Let's hope aliens do as well. Great posts, Maru. Any other comments or questions from anyone?
Yeah, good luck whoever has to follow that. Cool post.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a great one to start the show with. Thank you very much for sharing that, Maru. Just let me ask any other further comments or questions. And anything you want to say lastly, Maru?
Well, yes, I remembered something. They decided to leave out of the record images of poverty, crime, and diseases for obvious reasons.
Oh, I did have one quick question, if that's okay. Maru, what's the spacecraft that they just recently realized was still responding? And they've got lots, I don't know, another 5 years of thruster, if they're careful?
Well, I was reading that they are both still sending scientific data to Earth, but they will only be available until like 2025, because then they will not longer have any power to still keep running.
I'll have to look up this other one. There was a big news story about it just last week, one that's wasn't responsive for a long time, and now it is.
Oh, yes, I will read about it too.
All right, good stuff. Again, thank you for that, Maru. Fantastic post, as always. Really, really good post. Thank you for that. I'm going to quickly wave to Rico. Rico, are you there? No, Rico, you've got this same problem again. We can't hear you. So you're late, and now we can't hear you. So it's a great start, but I know you're in demand tonight, so don't worry.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, we can hear you. There we go.
Sorry about that. I'm here.
Yes. You're going to have to learn to set it to push to talk, and then when you do, you actually have to press that button.
Yeah, but it's hard. It's like 2 steps, no?
Yeah, it does require some calories, but you're going to have to do it.
Okay, someday I'll learn.
How are you? How was your other show this evening?
It was wonderful. It's such a great concept with like the 8 songs, like from your life, like from your young age to until now, and yeah, it was like quite a challenge to like choose 8 songs, but yeah, it's a great experience. Oh,
were you the star of the whole show?
Well, we were 3, so I was one third of this. I was, yeah, I don't know. 1/3 of the stars,
I get it. I get it. I get it. No, that's cool. And it's on PAL, yeah. No, it does sound like a good concept. Well, you know, you're a very popular man this evening, because I'm glad you managed to make it to my show. So thank you for that. Good to have you with us. We started without you. Sorry about that. Just the way it goes, I'm afraid. You know, the show must go on. But good to have you with us. And I shall return to you later on.
Yeah, good to be here, man. Let's do it.
Exactly. Let's do it. Couldn't have said that better myself. Let's do it indeed. Right. Okay. Going to move on. Up next is Snecky. Snecky, are you there?
Oh my lord, you scared me.
Good.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. How are you?
I'm doing better than Sunday.
Oh, yeah. How's the migraine?
Totally gone.
Yes, that's good to hear.
Absolutely.
What have you got for us?
I do hope that I have a post.
We can just carry on chatting if you want. I mean, I don't mind.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, we could talk for hours, I'm sure. But if you've got a post, oh, there it is. Okay, tell us about your post. Super secret book.
Yes, it's my super secret book. I keep notebooks. I buy them in all sizes, small, huge, and I take them everywhere I go. But I also like to draw on other stuff, because I use these notebooks to make little scribblings, but also sketches or drawings, whatever I want to do in it. But I also like to draw on other stuff, like in books and on playing cards, newspaper, magazines, everything I can get my hands on, really. And those drawings, most of the time, end up in the garbage or, you know, never seen again. So I decided I will make a book, one of these notebooks, and I will put them all inside there and share that online until it's full. And in this post, I share the first 3 drawings that I glued inside there.
Oh, okay. So this reminds me of what we call over here in Britain a scrapbook.
Yes.
Yes, is that what this kind of is? It's just a book, really, that gives you this canvas to stick in or write or produce anything at all. It's almost like a platform for brainstorming.
Yes, in a way it is, only I put in my drawings that I make, you know, in old books or whatever I find and get my hands on. And I don't want to throw them away anymore. I'm going to put them in and maybe even write a little bit on it.
It's I mean, how long have you used this? Is this almost full, this book, or is this a new thing you started?
No, this is a new book.
Oh.
So I started it. Only 3 drawings are inside now.
Good idea, you know, because a lot of people in the digital age probably wouldn't consider using scrapbooks anymore, you know. But it's a good idea because, as you know, it's different mediums and stuff have different. They kind of create different inspirations, and I think if you're going back to paper-based stuff, it just stimulates a different part of the creative brain. Do you not think?
I prefer to draw everything on paper. The digital world is amazing. I do turn some of my drawings digital, but I tried drawing digital and it doesn't give me that same feeling nor inspiration. When I see paper, I just want to draw. When I see a computer screen, I want to write.
Ah, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it goes back to what I say. You know, different mediums will have different impacts on us in terms of our creativity. But that's interesting. It's nice to see. So, what's the this? Do you know what? When I first saw this, it reminded me of that secret book that they hide away in the college library in American Pie. Have you seen that film?
I think so. Yeah.
And it's like a kind of a secret, I don't know, a sex tip book that students themselves have written themselves, and they've hidden it away in the library. It reminds me a little bit of that, but I don't think there's any of that going on in this book, is there?
Well, you never know.
Oh, exactly. It's a blank canvas.
Yes.
let the creative juices flow, so to speak. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Any comments or questions from anyone?
Hello. I wasn't here long, but now I just came in on Snacky's post, and Snacky said something interesting that I would like to comment on. Snacky said that she just can't draw digitally. I encountered the same thing when I write. When I write something which is not creative, like I write about history, I prefer to I write digitally. But when I'm write stories, or I just can't force myself to write digitally, I have.
Oh yes, I know that feeling all too well. Yeah, I like to write my poetry and stuff. I always write them on paper first. I can't do it. I can't do it on.
It's just like you can't handle the stuff when you have to write something on the different angles. A few notes there, something up in the corner. Is it the same feeling?
Okay, Snecky, I don't know if you heard that, but any more comments or questions for Snecky? And Snecky, is there anything you want to say lastly?
Thank you for having me. It was marvelous. And I don't think I heard the last thing that Trip the Spider said, but I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Trip, do you want to have another go?
I just said, is it the same feeling when you need that creative chaos on paper that you just can't achieve on computer, that you have to write things upside down on the edge of the paper in the column, just take too much time on PC and are hard to achieve?
Yeah, absolutely. Paper, I don't know, it gives me more freedom than working on a computer. Maybe that sounds weird, but
same thing here.
yeah, you can do everything with paper. You know, I also like to fold things and make little birdies or whatever, and you can throw it away, or you can, I mean, when I do stuff like drawing or painting, sometimes I get this little bit aggressive, not aggressive as in fighting aggressive, but you know, it's not good if you throw your laptop away.
No, maybe not. Unless it's Rico's. His isn't working too well. But anyway, that's a separate story. But great post, Snecky. Like it. My reference to American Pie, the film, by the way, was because I saw it the other day, and it's still an amazing film. I love it. But anyway, there we go. Great book, I think. Good idea. And I'm going to put the link up to your post one more time. There it is. Awesome. Guys, get voting on it. Thanks for that, Snecky.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Okay, I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on to the Bug IQ. Are you there?
I'm here, guys.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm very well, thank you, my friend. I had a gig today with a bunch of old folks. We had a great time, blast.
Oh, nice. What numbers did you play?
I did some Elvis, I did some Ricky Nelson, some Johnny Cash. I pulled out a little George Strait, some Garth Brooks today. I did a Vera Lynn tune, White Cliffs of Dover. Yeah, we covered a lot of territory because we had a lot of family visiting.
Well, that sounds like quite an eclectic mix you had going on there.
Well, I let myself out of the cage a little when family is visiting because the elderly residents, as long as their kids are happy and jamming, they couldn't care what I played. They'd be waving their teeth in the air, having a...
Just their teeth? Or...
I've seen it all, brother.
Awesome. Okay, tell us about your post.
I don't think I'm the best photographer that's ever lived. I enjoy it. This kind of covers, this post, it kind of covers kind of my slow falling in love with photography. I think I always liked the idea of photography more than photography. The work is very hard when you do it as a professional. What I love about playing music for a wedding now is I charge $1,900 Canadian. I go in, I sing everyone down the aisle, I play for the dinner and have sound reinforcement for the speeches, and I DJ and play live for the dance, and I'm home. As if, you know, I just face plant in my bed and I'm finished. When I was a professional photographer, there's editing and books and proofs, and people aren't happy, and they're already feeling the pinch of everything they spent on the wedding, and do they want to buy prints now? So I just do it for fun now. And this model and the other gal here, they were just people that I met in Prince George, and I had some new equipment I was testing out, and they said, you know what, that works for me. I'm beautiful. I want pictures, and you've got equipment. Let's do it. So, and it kind of just shows how I came up through 35 millimeter and stuff like that. So yeah, that's about all. You know, it's just, I don't think I give my photography too much attention. I'm more focused on music and Planktown and MASH and other things. But yeah, I thought I better put a little more focus on my photography too, because I just love it so much.
Yeah, well, there we go. I've just learned something else about you, that you're into photography. I'm into photography, but I hardly ever get time to get around to it. I'm just going to repeat what Scuzzy just said there. These photographs do look professional indeed. Almost look like you had a studio and set up there. But and I'm going through the first model. She's indeed beautiful. Can I ask then? So, what was just sort of sort of on the spot portrait session? Yeah.
Well, yeah, you see, these two models, they were kind enough. The second girl, the little curly-haired redhead, I knew her previously. The other girl, my wife and I met randomly, and so this was my first 2 photo shoots with my new equipment. To be honest, I was just testing it out, and I said, I'm not gonna charge you anything, and because I'm just playing here. So yeah, I'd say my stuff is probably a little better now that you know, I have a better understanding of light, and these are okay. I could pick them apart if I want to, but I like the feel of them, and they feel really nice for me.
Yeah, it's interesting what you said actually, Bug. You said something at the beginning. You seem to like the idea, the concept of photography more than photography itself, and that kind of resonated with me, because sometimes, I mean, just the whole invention of photography for me now is still an amazing concept. You know, taking something out there and just putting it on a piece of paper or on a computer nowadays. I mean, that is still something that's mind-boggling. But you said, you know, you found that more perhaps interesting than photography itself. Can you just elaborate a bit?
I think if I was going to, you know, it's really a parallel thought. It's not a direct response to you, but as a professional musician, I would feel better going to a concert where if they said, every single person here tonight is going to be provided with a high definition video of the performance this night, the one that you're at right here. And we're going to provide a link to that. If you will only, for the love of Jesus and all that's holy and Mary and everyone else and every other religion in the whole wide world, put your effing phones away and enjoy this experience. We will provide you with pictures and video. You know, everything can be tainted in this life, and it can be used for good or for bad. And people don't want to miss things so badly now that they can't live in an experiential moment any longer, it seems.
No, that is totally true. You know, even when I go out with mates for an evening, you know, and if something interesting happens, it's almost like an immediate reaction. Now, get the phone out, snap it. You know, it's like, okay, maybe, you know, you can do that, but don't worry so much about getting some kind of recorded footage of it. Enjoy the moment more. But more and more people are because they're being kind of conditioned right from the start now that mobile phones is everything, you know. Sadly, it takes away from the moment of the evening or the event or whatever it is. So for you, I'm just trying to correlate that to what you said there about you find the concept of photography more enjoyable than photography itself. How does that correlate with what you just said then, which I totally agree with, by the way?
I think my subject matter has changed. I like nature and things a lot. I still love taking pictures of people, but I really like you know, more off the cuff stuff as opposed to posed stuff like this. I just happen to have this on hand, and this is a long time ago, this photography, like 10 years at least. And, you know, Nikon D300, I mean, that's old in the tooth right there. And it just makes me contemplate how I interact with things that I enjoy, like photography and music. Wouldn't it be funny, Freedom, if you went out with your buddies, or I went out with my buddies? You know how you have a designated driver who never drinks?
Yeah.
We should have a designated photographer for the night. No one else is allowed to touch their phone to take a picture or anything. And all he does All he does all night is annoy the shit out of everybody. Put the camera in their face. Hey, come on, get together, guys. That's so cute. Awesome. Spiky hair. Love it. Blow the head off that beer, mate. This looks good.
I think that is an absolutely fantastic idea. I wish people would do it more, or maybe I would just wish nobody had to take constant, photography throughout an event or evening. But there we go. It's the times we live in.
You'd make the point to your mates, though, right? That we all look like idiots, and in 100 years, we're even going to look like more idiots because all we ever did was have pictures of each other with our phones in our hands.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. Yes, you would prove a very good point. Good idea. Great posts. Some lovely pictures in there. Very professional. Any comments or questions for the bug?
Do you find it difficult to get an idea for a picture, or did you just go out and take snapshots of what you like and what you want?
The real challenge is making sure you have the camera with you. And that's why I strongly disagree with anyone who advises someone to go out and buy a great big DSLR. If you really want to get up to the next level in photography, you should only be considering a mirrorless camera or a micro four thirds camera or an all-in-one compact with a large sensor. Because if you're not going to have that camera with you, there's no pictures to take. And see, Yidnith, there you go, dear. And I can get results with Fuji's cheapest mirrorless camera that will outperform this Nikon that I took pictures with right here, 10-1. And it's the cheapest camera they have. So you want to have that camera with you. And when you see something you want to photograph, the best advice I could give you is to act on it. Stop and take the picture instead of saying, well, that would have been a great shot.
Small follow-up, I won't take long. What is your stance on mobile phone photography in case you don't have the camera with you?
Just fantastic. The Google Pixel 2, highest rated cell phone camera of anyone ever made. iPhone takes terrific pictures. There's all eclipse for macro photography. Zipporah has on her recent post. I've looked at those macro clips. You can't tell that you didn't take a shot now with a $10,000 camera. And if you really know what you're doing with a really good cell phone camera, like a iPhone 8 and up or a Google Pixel 2, you could do a professional photo shoot if you understand light to a large extent.
That's amazing. Thank you very much.
DP Review is a great site. Just the letters DP, like Digital Photographer Review. I unfortunately am a walking encyclopedia on sensors and equipment because it's like a massive. It's my porn, I guess, is cameras.
But that's in addition to your porn, though, yeah.
Yes, of course. I like my cameras young, fresh, and perky too.
Awesome. I think a lot of people do as well. Anyway, let's any more comments or questions for the bug? And bug, anything you want to say lastly?
No, I'm sure I'm pushing 6 minutes or more, so I'm at.
Thank you.
I don't want to get spanked.
No, you only get spanked if I think you've been 15 minutes when you've only been 6 minutes, so don't worry. Okay, awesome. Good stuff there, guys. I think I put the link up, but it flew up. I'm going to put it up one more time. There it is. Get posting on it. Nice post there. Learned something new about the bug tonight, which is
everybody.
Good.
Thanks, Peter.
You're very welcome, sir. Okay, going to move on. I'm going to move on to Emeka Collins. Emeka Collins, are you there? Emeka, are you there? Crystal, would you mind just tagging Emeka, see if he wants to come along? We'll give him a few more seconds and then I'll move on. Emeka, I believe, is a boy, a male, anyway. I think it might be his first time, yes. But I don't think he's there. I don't think he's around, I'm afraid. So I will move on. Should he appear, I will come back to him. So I'm going to move on, and I'm going to call up next Linda Haas. Linda Haas, are you there?
Oh no, I'm not.
I didn't think
No,
so.
No, I hear something.
I didn't think I could hear your name, but I can hear your name, so you must be there.
I hear echo all the time. Okay. Hi guys, how is everybody doing? I haven't been here for a while, and there are some new faces and the old faces.
You haven't been here. That you were going away for a few weeks. You said because you had your mum, I think, staying with you. But it's good to see you.
I'm good, thank you. My mom left, yes, and I was lonely for a while, so I didn't come on either. But now I'm good again, and I made some posts. I started posting regularly again, and here.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. Oh,
it is not a story. It is
Legoland.
Yes, from Legoland. I made series of posts on this because I had hundreds and hundreds of pictures. I wasn't making photos when we were doing carousels, but I just had to make photos on the miniatures towns, and I have multiple parts in these because I was like, wow, I want to look at these again and look at those again and again and again. And I have like 3 posts right now, and I want to make another one on carousels, even though I don't have much photos. I just want to write about it. But it was a really, really great experience to go there. And even though I was constantly said that it was for the little ones and for children, I guess I'm a child because I liked it very much, and my mom liked it, and I think it's for every age, and it's perfect for family because there are carousels for adults and for small ones, and there are these Lego towns. There was Lego Venice, and I have it in another post, which is linked in this post as well, by the way, if you want to check those out, because there's mostly pictures and some text. And there was Lego Venice, and I think there was even Netherlands in so guys. There was some windmills and stuff, and there was there was Eiffel Tower, which I didn't make a photo of because I wasn't impressed. Because it wasn't on a nice background like everything else. And the carousels were really amazing too, because there were enough for the little ones, and they were great for adults as well. There were never long lines. I don't know if it's because the carousels were short, because you kind of stood in the line for 2 minutes and you were in the carousel for a minute too. It was like kind of rotating all the time, so there were never long lines, and you still got to visit all carousels. And because of that, you kind of got to go everywhere, because in one day we visited all the carousels except 2, and those were like kind of kid ones anyways, but we saw everything, so that was pretty cool. And I was really, really impressed, and I think that a lot of people should go there. Even if they don't have kids around, they could go there and have good time. There's great food too, so that's my thing.
I think this is amazing. I mean, I used to be so into Lego. I'm not so much these days, but do you know what? When I see pictures of these Legoland theme parks, like, oh man! And I'm so pleased you've tons and tons of pictures, because that's exactly what you need when you're doing a post on Legoland. And I'm pleased to see that you've done that. Was this the first time you'd been there, by the way, or have you been here before?
No, I think it's a park where you should go just once, and maybe for the sculptures, it would be worth going for the second time, because the carousels are like, you go on the carousels, and then an hour before closing, you kind of just go through the towns, and it's breathtaking, and it's just mind-blowing how much work went in there and how much Lego blocks. And you know what, I was like, I want to buy some Lego and I want to build some stuff. And then I was shocked that in Legoland, Lego is more expensive than in normal stores, and it's already expensive. So that was like, what? But I kind of understood it, because it's easier to sell Lego in Legoland, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's like with anything, isn't it? If you're going to go there, they're going to just absolutely put the price up because it's an easy sell, really. People get there in the moment. It's like with lots of things. But what was I going to say? Right, who's fighting with Darth Vader and Darth Maul at the bottom of the post?
That's my cool mom, because I was telling her how to act, and she was just listening to me and posing for us to show off how great of a Jedi she is.
I think she's doing a good job there. Did she win?
Yes, of course. No dark side Sith Lord is gonna stand against her.
No, well, it doesn't look like it. But great post, Linda. Really enjoy that. Thanks for sharing, especially that cover image. That's fantastic. The weird thing is when you take pictures of Legoland structures, whatever they are, it's not always easy to absorb the moment when you're there because of the angles, because of the depth of field, etc. Did you struggle a little bit with that, or did you manage to capture the full depth of the experience in your photography?
I just went on the same level as the things were created, and I think I captured it with the Star Wars miniature structures, but with the towns you have to go there and you have to see it, because the towns they are so massive, and I was not completely satisfied with the photos I had from them, because you always want to create the perfect photos that resemble life, but the truth is it's always better to see it yourself and just to look at it yourself. So I hope I make some people go to Legoland when they come to Germany with those photos.
I think you will have. Any comments or questions for Linda?
Yeah, Linda. So what is approximately a ratio of trilogies of Star Wars in the Legoland? From the old original Star Wars to the ones we used to call the new ones and the ones that are now new ones. Are there differences of amount of pieces from each of the trilogies?
No, the only difference was that there was like I think 3 or 4. There was this place where the little cuddle bears, the cannibal cuddle bears, killed the ATSTs with those beams. There was this one from the old movies, that's from the old trilogy. Then there was Fight on Hoth from the old trilogy as well, and I think there was three settings from old trilogy and just one setting from the newer movies, because the newer one, the one that you could see that it was recently made, and it had this the Lego blocks were much shinier and without sand, but the older ones you kind of could see that they had been there for a while. So I think that it was more focused on the older movies. But there was the Star Destroyer, the Imperial Star Destroyer. They said that they talked about it, and I think it's built recently. I'm not really sure, but I think it's built recently. And that's one of the biggest in Europe or in the world model. I don't really remember, because that was kind of, when you take it all in, and when you sit in the train and the speakers are explaining to you, you don't really listen because you're like so amazed with your just looking at everything. But there was mostly it's from the older movies than from the newer ones, the ratio. But it's not the big part of Legoland. It has the Star Wars. It was the only specialized like Star Wars was the only specialized corner. There was no other Lego corner for any other movies, like let's say Harry Potter, because that's my thing too. There was only the towns and the Star Wars buildings, but they weren't much. They were like 1/4 of what the towns were, 1/5 maybe. But it was enough. I mean, it's pretty amazing anyways, everything that they made. It's so close to how it actually looked in the movies. So
yeah, it looks amazing.
It does, absolutely. It looks fantastic. I love it. It's great. Thank you very much, Linda, for sharing that, and good to see you back. Good to see you posting again as well.
Thank you, and it's great to be here again.
Thank you. Good to have you with us. Okay, guys, get voting on that. I'm going to ask Bito. Bito, are you there?
Yes, hello. How is everybody doing?
I am good. I can only speak for myself, but I am good. Good to hear you, Bito. How are you doing? Get out.
Oh, I'm doing well. I've been having some severe troubles. My MacBook Pro just blew up. I have a logic card failure that I can't afford, so I'm pretty much on my tablet and phone trying to do some posts. So I'm going to take the opportunity to do as much as I can to either get a new computer or get a new get something else, another computer so I can work, because
Okay, are you
working from the top.
able to put a post up or not? Can you not do it?
Yes, I can. It's right here.
Awesome.
So what today I'm trying to talk about, I want to talk about, is how the fake news and the leftist bias in the mainstream media creates dishonesty in general. What the outline of the post tries to give you the idea and the history of journalism, and how journalism sort of drifted away from what it is, and how fake news both in America, in Europe, and everywhere else just takes the news fact and just spins it around in order to fit the narrative, the leftist narrative that it goes, forbidding the readers and the audience to get the current vantage points and the facts that they need to know. In my opinion, mainstream media obeys certain sets of groups and agendas that are left-wing biased, and they create groupthink, they create confirmation bias, and they make you believe things that aren't quite true. So that's pretty much my pitch right there.
Well, this is very interesting, because this is an issue that's close to my heart in many ways, because I'm very, very skeptical of the mainstream media anyway. And in my country, it is dominated by the leftist agenda. That's not to say there isn't a right element. There is, but it's in a minority. The left-wing agenda is far more dominant within the mainstream news media in Britain and in other countries. And they have been dominant for a long, long time. Yeah, exactly, Rika, particularly in Sweden and other European countries. And they have been dominant for a long, long time. They have been setting the agenda, the leftists, using the media. They've helped to set their agenda. And that has been the dominant agenda for a long time. But I think this is... Sorry, go on.
Yes, and it's been more so in countries like Sweden, in which Stockholm has become the rape capital of the world, and the authorities, in fear of backlash from certain minority communities, they haven't had the guts or the will to tackle the problem. You have the knife attacks in London. You have entirely a different thing here in Venezuela or in the United States, where the media just spins around things in their own favor to fit their agenda and just make you unable to get a whole grasp of the facts. And I consider that this is a very dangerous thing, because it creates false narratives. You hear fake news from the left aisle, claiming Russia, claiming everything, and you hear fake news from the right. But here's the thing. Just in the United States, 93% of every journalist identifies as a Democrat. And they think that just because they identify as a Democrat, they can objectively inform you of a piece of news, of a fact, without being subject to bias. And in the world of psychology, when you're surrounded by leftists and people that are like-minded to you, you are very likely to engage in groupthink and in confirmation bias that forbids you to inform in a objective way. So that's one of the reasons that I wanted to write this post about. Because
no, it's a good quote. Absolutely, it is totally dangerous. And believe me, it's not just Venezuela. just looking at the mainstream news media, 70% is liberal left-leaning. There's no doubt about it in my country. But worse, if you look at the education system, there was a recent study done, an official study. 8 out of 10 university lecturers in Britain are left-leaning. I think the statistic gets worse when you get to teachers in schools and secondary schools. So it's the education system, it's the media environment, it's the mainstream news media, and it is government. And they have all been infected with what I call this global leftism, this global Marxism, if you like. It's all kind of coming from the same angle. And even the right-leaning news media, you can still see how they've been influenced by this leftist agenda. It is dominant. It is rampant.
It's political correctness. And once you establish political correctness in the mainstream media, because political correctness is a fabrication and a creation from the left, it allows you to control 3/4 of the political spectrum. And it's very easy for political correctness in riddled information to make you forget and live up to the narrative, and it changes the way in which people perceive and interpret these facts. And it's terrible because the audience is consumers of culture, and we're not, as consumers of culture, we're paying for it, and we're not getting the benefits of what we're paying for. And I consider that this is a very dangerous thing. It threatens our liberty. It threatens our freedom of speech. And it's part of a globalist agenda that just tries to take away every single point of view that doesn't live up to their narrative and their plans and their agenda. So I think
global communism is the agenda, I believe.
Indeed, it is.
Bito, I could talk to you for hours about this and we'd have a really good conversation, but I'm going to have to move on, I'm afraid. I need to ask the audience if there are any comments or questions, but I'm going to particularly focus on one person to begin with, and that's the Bug IQ. Because Bito, I know you mentioned about this one-off political show that I was thinking of doing with the Bug IQ. I left it with the Bug. I haven't heard from him, but Bug, I know Bito's interested. Bug, are you still interested?
Yeah, we'll talk about it. I've had some mixed reviews from people that I've talked to, and honestly, it's hard for me to totally get behind it because everything is so perfect in Canada.
Oh, snap.
Uh-oh. Freedom just snapped his keyboard in two.
I was just waiting for somebody else to fill that gap. But anyway, Bug, are you still interested in that chat show or not?
I'm somewhat interested. We'll talk about it. We will, for sure. We'll talk about it. It's not a dead thing. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
All right. Okay. Any other comments or questions from anyone for Bito?
Keep strong.
Well said, Savo. Did you hear that, Bito?
Oh yes, I did. I had a question from. I had a question that which news site is reliable to me, and my most honest answer is whatever it depends to you. You know, you can go to the Washington Times, which is a little PC. You can go to Breitbart. And if you're willing to delve with nationalist identitarians or the such, you can go to redeyes.tv. You can go to several others. But I believe that if you have the will to go through all these websites, read what they have, and make up your own mind on what they are putting out, you can surely be more well-informed than just entertaining yourself with CNN and MSNBC. Or,
well said. I mean, I cannot echo that. I cannot echo that enough, even though I've said it 3 times. I can't, because it is so important that you must do your independent research. The last thing anyone should ever do is rely on mainstream news media to inform their world, because believe me, you're getting such a distorted presentation of facts in inverted commas. So yeah, I can't reiterate that enough, Peter.
Is the website still? Do you still have it? I gave you and Buck some while.
Yeah, send it to Bito or put it in the chat, Savo, if you want. But I'm going to have to move on, I'm afraid. Bito, is there anything you want to say lastly?
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. I am constantly putting up in my blog things about these sort of things, about fake news and my position. I am a nationalist identitarian from Venezuela. And although I am one of those, I don't allow that for me to not be in a...
Rico, Crystal Pacheco, are you there?
I am here. And I thought we all could laugh about that because that tickled me.
That's awesome. Is that his dream house, is it? Gosh, I'm not sure I should have invited him on this show. I don't know what's going on in his head, but this is great. What a great competition. What made you do this?
Well, I was trying to think of some, because when you're doing a contest, you're like, okay, what will ever somebody enjoy? I don't want to do nothing, that it's only to like one talent. So I'm always trying to think of something that everybody could relate to. I'm like, oh, well, everybody has a dream house, I have, my thing is a mobile bee van of some sort, and other people have like mansions and stuff. So I just want to know what people would like. And when I saw this Hobbit house and all the nature ones were in there, I loved them. They were so... I just love the creativity, because some of these places I wouldn't even think of ever picking.
But that Hobbit house are you saying that's actually real, or is that taken from the film?
I'm assuming it's from, he's in chat sometimes, Nick3D, I think is the correct username, but in Discord here, but he I think it's from the movie, but I'm pretty sure there's some fans out there have built the house. I mean, speaking for myself, if I could build a TARDIS house, I would probably do
it. I'm sure you would. I love fourth place, actually, and I also like third place. But if I'm really honest with you, I think my favourite is... No, I'm going to go for fourth place. I love that house. It's sort of built into the trees. It's great.
Yeah, I guess I lived in the countryside my whole life, so I was kind of just drawn into like all the nature ones. I was trying to be fair. I'm like, let's look all of them. Let's look all of them. And I was like, oh, these look so cool. And I just love nature because I like, walking trails and biking. So I just thought they were all amazing to pick.
Did you say you grew up in the countryside, Crystal, or you didn't?
I do. I've grown up here for a long time, and I've always enjoyed it. I prefer the countryside than I do the city. I mean, city has its advantages, but I like,
Where are you then?
I live between two small towns, Galena and Millington, Maryland. It's very farm. Like I think I have like 2 neighbors on the whole road.
Oh, okay. That sounds very rural. And you've grown up in a rural setting all your life, yeah?
Oh, yes.
In a rural setting all your life, yeah?
I mean, I've moved around some, but not like too far. So, but yeah, I've mainly been around here. And
okay.
Chickens SPP.
Awesome. All right. Any comments or questions for Crystal?
Hey, hello. How are you?
Hey, EOCR.
No, I like your contest. Thank you for giving me the 4th place. Listen, I just wanted to say, just make a comment. I went right away under your post and wrote a comment, just saying thank you. And then I saw Rico's comment, and the only reaction I had was just to laugh, because it's funny. There is nothing else to comment. And then I just make a comment laughing, and some random account came in to tell me that it's apparently it's not proper or against Steam rules or whatever, if there is some, to just comment one word, which is not even a word. I don't know if that is a bot and it's an account that is just open in April. So I just wanted to tell you I'm sorry for creating that little drama under your post, girl. I don't know which this account comes from. If you guys can look after, I would appreciate it, but I kind of disagree with how I was, you know. So whatever. Thank you, Crystal Pacheco.
I wouldn't worry about it. I haven't seen it yet because I literally posted just before the show, so I wouldn't be worried about that guy. It's probably the same person that wants all my prizes to be SPD.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Okay, yeah. Awesome. I'm going to have to move on, I'm afraid. We are running out of time slowly but surely. Great post, Crystal. Loving them houses. Guys, get voting on that for Crystal. Okay, but just before I hand over to Rico, I am going to ask Scuzzy if he has now managed to come up with a full sentence. I think he has. I think he has come up with a sentence. He's going to give us a full sentence. So give him some encouragement. I think he said something about an account there, but it flew up the screen. Anyway, I'm going to hand over to Scuzzy very briefly for one sentence.
We hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Bobby, the beautiful blue baby beagle, bum buzzle Betty, the barbaric bumblebee by burning a bird, Bronco brownies.
Look, I mean, there is a bit of a mic issue, but I think we got the gist of it. Yeah, you're very muffled, Scuzzy. I see why you never talk to us, but can you give us just one more time?
Bobby, the beautiful blue baby beagle, bum buzzle Betty, the barbaric bumblebee by burning a billion Bronco brownies.
Oh dear, but Steam Power Pix wants to know, did you use bumfuzzle? I don't know, but I heard a lot of B's in that sentence. Sounds like an old dirty bastard, JSF says.
Sounds a little bit like Darth Vader buying bubblegum at 7-Eleven. I love it.
Or that, maybe that's what it is more like.
Oh yeah, and LCR, I upvoted your one vote comment, man. Free world, brother.
But that was a fantastic sentence. Really enjoyed that. I don't know whether there was bumfuzzle in there, but hey, who knows? Great sentence. Thank you for that, Scuzzy. We really are building you up now for that post that you're going to present to us, hopefully, next week. Oh, there it is. Yes, bumfuzzled was in there. There's the sentence in full. So bumfuzzled was in there. Well done. I'm going to have to copy that sentence and use that as the next title. The title of my next post. Anyway, Rico, are you there?
Yo, what's up?
We're all waiting for you.
Good. I think we're 6 people in, and we have 18 left. So I'm gonna speed it up a little.
You go for it.
Yeah,
I can't hear him. Is that just are my ears broken?
Hello.
I can hear Rico. Can everybody hear Rico?
Yeah, it's a little bit low.
Okay, I'll raise it. Savo, can you start?
After this one. Do first somebody else, please.
Yeah, for sure. SPP, maybe?
He doesn't do them, so choose someone else.
Cubby, Elizabeth, are you here?
She's only just come in. Choose someone else.
Lucky her.
Ready.
Okay, JSF. Are you here, JSF? Okay. Let's do, I'll say ecstasy, even if it's not ecstasy. Nope, no ecstasy here. Ecstasy.
Hang on a minute. Let's
just come back.
Let's just slow things down a bit. JSF, are you there now? Are you able to present? JSF, I can see you typing. Are you going to be putting up a link? Well, you should have sorted the mic out a little bit sooner, but we will come back to you. Ecstasy is now there. Ecstasy, are you able to get on the mic? So, Ecstasy, you got problems with your mic. Okay, try speaking to Steam Power Picks or somebody to sort your mic out. Sweeney Guy, are you there?
You know I am. Out of all the people.
Yeah.
I got a nice little treat for you guys today. This is the final stage of funding for the Steam House. We have created a token on the BitShares DEX that people will be able to use inside our space and also be able to use to purchase things that we make inside the space. We're going to be selling about 500,000 out of a 1 million maximum supply. And we're looking to raise, I mean, this token sale is going to go on. It could go on for the next year or two until we get a lot of these sold out. This is going to be kind of a support fund. We're going to open on this. We're going to upgrade on this. We're going to get all of our machines. We're going to do our marketing on this. We are massively raising funds. The money that we've already raised through the Dream Team has paid for these tokens and has paid for a lot of marketing that we've done already, and we've still got a big chunk of that sitting off in cold storage Steam. We're seeing a nice little increase in that, but I'm here to promote these tokens. There are 50,000 of these tokens on sale right now on BitShares. The full token sale starts May 1st. Once these first 50,000 tokens are sold, they're done and gone. You won't be able to get any more of these for about 3 weeks.
Nice. I love tokens, man. So how many have you sold so far, you said?
Let's see, I just put these 50,000 up. I sold 2 of them. I'm giving out everyone who has invested already. Some of the people in this room are on my Dream Team. They are going to share a 1% stake. So they're going to get 10,000 tokens shared out to each of them. I gave 10,000 tokens to a group called Platforms who has helped me set up the token, and they're going to be doing a lot of marketing for me. And then starting May 1st, we're going to sell upwards of 400,000 to 500,000 of these tokens at increasing increments, eventually raising, I think, a total of $100,000, depending on the value of those tokens over time.
Oh, very cool. So it's going to be connected to physical places where you can like make stuff, or?
Oh yes, this is a token to be integrated into the makerspace that I am building in the real world. Members of our local community are going to be able to use these tokens to pay for their monthly memberships, or buy tickets to workshops or classes, or buy materials for their projects. And people on Steam or the internet who may not ever interact with our physical space will still be able to use these tokens to purchase things that we make inside the space. All of our creatives here in our makerspace are going to make this gadget or this 3D printed creation, this painting, and we're going to put a lot of those up on our website for sale, and you'll be able to use these tokens to purchase those things.
Wow, that's very cool. I think like it's really, really great that people start to like integrate tokens and blockchain technology into real life, like away from the computer. So am I in the Dream Team?
I don't think so, unless you invested with us early. We were raising 2,000 Steam. We've got like 40 people. I don't think you're on there. I'm not sure. I'll go look at my list though.
Yeah, you better type my name down. No, just kidding. It's really cool. Does anyone have any question about the Steam House?
I actually went to Open Ledger to see if I could buy it. Is it correct that you can only buy it with US dollars right now? Because I couldn't pay with it with BTS.
And how much are they?
You should be able to buy them with BTS. I'm pretty sure that's the pair that I put up. They should be up for 1 BitShare each.
Yeah, because it did not give me that option. I have BTS, and I could only buy them with US dollars.
I'll have to look into that, and if I can't get that figured out in like the next 24 hours, I'll give you a message and I'll let you buy them directly from me. We'll figure that out.
Okay, that would be perfect. Thank you.
What's the cost?
They are 1 BitShare each.
How much is that, like USD? I'm just trying to.
I think 1 BitShare currently is like 16.6 cents.
Cool, thank you.
Like you said, it was like 50,000 now, and then what do you have, like a cap, a total cap after?
Yes, after as of May 1st, the first 150,000 tokens are going to be sold at about 25 cents a piece. The next 100,000 are going to be sold at about 35 cents a piece, and then there's going to be 3 tiers after that at 75,000 per batch that get sold at about 10 cents increasing per.
Okay, so it's gradually becoming more expensive as you release more tokens.
Right, the earlier you get in, the better position you're going to be.
Yep. Cool. So you're gonna have many of these makerspaces. I know we have like some really cool makerspaces here in Gothenburg. So
that question actually comes up almost every time I talk about the Steam House. So absolutely, when I get my full business model worked out and we're running smooth, absolutely. If somebody wants to come and talk to me about franchising the Steam House, I will help you build the funding and the marketing, and absolutely, let's open more of these. That would be so cool.
Sweet. Any last questions?
Yes. What is the fundamental value of this token or currency?
Legally, nothing. It's going to be used inside of our space. Now, people can trade this token on the BitShares DEX, so it's going to have its own value, but I can guarantee you nothing. Legally, I can guarantee you nothing at all. But it does have a utility, and it will be tradable. Therefore, the public is going to have a lot of say on the value, and I really won't.
Okay, great. Thank you for presenting, Sweeney Guy. Let's go with Jack Johannes Hemp. Are you there?
He's got problems with his mic, Rico. Do you want to move on?
Yes. Anaman, maybe? Are you there, Anaman?
Yeah.
Great. Do you have a post to present today? Great.
All right. It's a post that I shared some days ago. Or just a short message to all newbies that are coming onto the platform. Realize that some people are not getting enough upvotes now, and they feel kind of lost and all that. So just put something small to encourage them and keep them. Like, forget about the rewards for now and just keep posting, and the better days are ahead of us.
Yeah, that's a great attitude to it. I think it's like life; it goes up and down, and you just have to be persistent and keep on it. So, what advice do you have for us in these times?
Yeah, I would just keep posting. Just forget the people kind of want to all at once and now.
Mm-hmm.
You're cutting out a little bit. Can you repeat?
And the man,
it took time before it rose to where it is now. When you hold on to it.
You're Mr. Robotic right now. Can you try to repeat again? Anemon, are you there? Oh well. Yeah.
Just move on, Rico.
LCR, are you there? LCR.
Oh, LCR, come on. Are you there? Speak to us. LCR, has he gone to the toilet or what's he up to?
He's alive now. I see him switching up, muting back and forth.
Oh, I see JSF flashing. JSF, have you sorted your mic or not?
Do you hear me?
Yes,
we do.
You know. Do you have a post for us?
Hi, everyone. Yeah. Let me keep it.
Great. Super duper. Thank you. How are you?
Oh, just great, just great. Yeah, here's the post. Do you hear me? I don't.
Yeah, we hear you fine.
Oh, great. Yeah, this is a post about some visual experiments I made on some extra experiments for the Ripple contest for Sandbox. They have a challenge of making different interpretation of those cryptocurrency logos. So I made some extra experiments with different colors and yeah, shared them here in recent visual explorations.
Yeah, so the last two ones are made for night mode, so you have to switch up to watch them properly, right?
Oh yeah, first time I tried doing and yeah.
I think all of them looks better in night mode. I actually haven't used night mode since ever. Maybe I should try that out more. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never used it before, but it's great to try. I don't know, different experiments with the transparency on the PNG.
What program are you using to make these?
I use Adobe Illustrator for the main composition, and then final editing in Photoshop, and exporting different versions.
Okay, do you have much experience with making pictures like this?
Sorry?
Do you have much experience? Do you work like this, or?
Well, I've worked on graphic design and creative direction for some time. Yeah, I really enjoyed this exercise, like bringing together stuff from I like op art and Passarelli mixed with I don't know. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, we hear you.
I don't know. This was a great experiment to try. Mixing my favorite aesthetics with a current challenge and trying different things other than the daily.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. It reminds me of like old school graphics, like gaming graphics, basically, like the old Sierra games. They had like similar art on their packages, I think.
Wow, yeah. Really love the Sierra and the whole aesthetics and the games and packaging. Didn't remind us about those things for a long time. Sorry for my English.
I feel inspired by that, but maybe it's just
Well, now that you say it, yes, totally looks like the Zero logo with the stripes.
Yeah. So what's like visual explorations?
Oh, visual explorations is a series of posts where I'm keeping like some kind of open sketchbook, and I like to share different ideas that didn't make the cut for regular works from graphic design, or maybe I was doing some artworks or some canvases, and maybe the extra designs I didn't use I'm sharing through here. And yeah, you can the bottom of the post you can see for previous editions of visual explorations.
Okay, sweet. Does anyone have any questions? ESF? If not, I would like to call Jidnet if she's here. Jidnet, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Cool. Do you have a post?
Yeah, just a second to drop the link.
Cool.
Boom Fiesel.
Who just said that? Who just said that?
Well, it's a very elven version of Bonfossil, right? I accept that. So today I have a post about unicorns. It's a cover song that I recorded all the instruments, harp, low whistle, and voices. It's a very simple cover. I recorded all in one take. But I also take the chance to talk about unicorns, the movie, the soundtrack of this movie, which is The Last Unicorn, which is a very old movie from the early 80s. And the post includes also my unicorn fantasy photography. So I cosplay as the lady in the movie, and I add some unicorn photography. And it also explains a little bit of the background of these creatures. For me, they're metaphorical. I mean, I love fantasy, but I don't see fairies in my garden, as I say. And but I'm really attracted by fantasy, as you all know. And this was really a really wonderful movie from my childhood. I'm a fantasy nerd, so I love The Last Unicorn, as I love Flight of Dragons. Actually, Rankin Bass, which is the team of animators, also did an early movie in the late 70s about The Hobbit. If you haven't checked, there is a Hobbit movie in the late 70s made also by Rankin Bass. But The Last Unicorn is really special because it featured a really strange and really high quality animation for the early 80s. It has a wonderful soundtrack. This song actually is by a folk band called America. Sadly, the singer passed away recently. And I don't know, it's just like you can find photography, you can find books about unicorns, you can find the background story of unicorns, you can find recommendations of movies, including the Last Unicorn. And it's all about unicorns. Unicorn Day, just a few days ago. If you didn't know.
There's even a Unicorn Day? No, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, recently I have made a shout out for the Rats Day. Everyone around here in Estimi know me as a crazy rat lady, right? But as you know, I love fantasy, and it was a Unicorn Day just a couple of days ago, and I took the chance to write this article, and I hope you like it. I hope you like the song. You can actually play the song at the beginning and then go on reading while you listen.
Oh, nice! I'm definitely gonna try that. Have you tried dressing up like a unicorn yourself?
Yeah, I actually I love dressing up, and I really love hiking, being dressing up, and I love to bring instruments with me, and sometimes I play in nature like a crazy minstrel. I carry my lap harp to the forest, sometimes really far. It's not convenient, but yeah. Hedvig Sagens, I love your photos because he's the one helping me to take my own pictures. Obviously, even if I plot the design and the clothing, he's the one hiking with me. He's my partner. But you were the one editing my post and taking your name out, so shut up. And Yeah. No, LCR. He actually, I posted at the end. Of course, my portraits, I can't take them to myself. Even if I plot the picture, I need someone to take the picture if I'm featured in the photography. And we hike together. I love to do these dresses and plot the photos. But actually, I make it in collaboration with Edek, who is here as well. But
Wow.
this recording, he usually helps me also in the mix and mastering. But this recording sounds really not so good because he didn't help me. So if I sound muddy, it's my fault.
You
Okay.
sound beautiful.
As always. I got an idea, or maybe you have thought about it, but make a music video with a unicorn and he can film you. What about that?
Well, we have all sorts of music videos on YouTube, and I've been starting to share the music videos over here in the Steemit, and they're usually fantasy videos, but I usually make the effort of doing the video clips for my own original songs. This was just like a quick tribute. We sort of made when we took the pictures, we sort of made some footage because we always film some video, but it wasn't consistent enough to do a video clip. I've done for a few covers, but I usually save that effort for my own original songs. And no duets with Hedek because he's amazing at the piano and he helps me in almost everything I do. And he's also the technician behind our D-Live shows. We made one early on, and but he can't sing. And even if he wants to say otherwise, he can't sing.
See. Yeah, actually, I'm kind of like into unicorns myself. They are quite powerful beings. I actually have like a unicorn on my wall just behind me. I'm gonna get you a picture when I have the time.
And you didn't know it was Unicorn Day? Shame on you.
Yeah, I'm not up to date with that. Sorry. Does anyone have any questions?
Yes, I do. Excuse me. Well, first and foremost, you have great work. And are you open to collaboration?
Well, Hector here, who is my partner, can reply that because he's been waiting for a long time. Yes and no, I explain. I'm working now in my third album of original songs, which is called Fear No More. And this is what is taking most of my concentration. I am doing a few spontaneous collaborations, but only on D-Live. I sort of started doing on D-Live, asking for permission to my fellow Steemians, and I do harmonize the Steemian. So sometimes when I'm doing my D-Lives, I ask some fellow Steemians a particular songs that I've liked, and I add some vocals in it, and then I make this kind of shout outs during the D-Lives, and they join my Discord so they can share the posts and such. But it's quite sort of an informal kind of collaboration because I'm really just like trying to concentrate in the new album. And after that, I really need to do a collaboration with Hector, who has been waiting for a long time. And we kind of have like a couple of songs that we are working now for the first time as co-composers, because he helps me with everything I do and I help him, but it's been a long time that we don't do anything together. I'm a slow worker.
Okay, great. Also, if need be, I can provide mixing and mastering services. Nonetheless, I will send you a message with some Steam bucks, and yeah, you'll more than likely reach back if you're interested.
Thank you. That is why he listened to my song and said, "Oh my God, this is so wrongly mastered. My fault. It's not Hector's fault." I just want to say that. But sure. And there is my Discord as well, and we all often hang out there, so people make requests, and sure.
Okay, thank you, Edith, and that's a lovely post. Let's see who's next. Let's try with Savo again. Are you ready now?
Yes.
Great. What do you have for us today?
I have a post with we have now on our channel, on the SMA channel, we have now 24/7. Yeah, not now at this point because I'm doing audio, but normally then there will be 24/7 tracks being played by people who are joined the SMA channel.
Yeah, nice. There it is. Yeah, you've been making some great music lately. I've been you you had a nice little session yesterday with us, right?
Yeah, true. Yesterday was a show I do with Divine.
Yeah, real good stuff. So
Thanks.
what's this post about, you said?
Yeah, we have now a second channel, or I made it a second Discord account to play 24/7 music of the people who are in our channel.
Oh, cool. So are there many people from the Steam blockchain there?
Rico, you're a little bit quiet. Any chance you can increase your volume?
Yes, of course. 1 sec.
Yes, everybody who is attending the shows will be played, will be put in the list. So, and it will be playing for 24/7 after when I'm finished here.
Wow, so you can just drop in there and listen to music while you're like jamming and making music, basically?
Yeah, I know since the members are growing, it's hard to for some people to really get the music heard. You know, it's also the time differences. So yeah, like this, people can will be promoted always on our channel.
Oh, cool. Will you record it as well, or will you just be playing?
No, it's just a playlist.
Oh, okay, so it's not live. It's some pre-recorded.
Yeah, it's not live. It can be live though, but yeah, maybe so once in a while.
Okay, that's really cool.
I tried to join your Discord and it says that invite.
Oh, okay. I will.
Yeah, you have to push in the little ticker so it's not expires. Does anyone have any questions? I would love to hear some music, but that's just me.
May I proceed then?
We normally do get a musical interlude, but this is just a kind of a general post about the new channel. But yeah, good stuff though. So very well done.
Yeah, you
Thanks.
should make a track to promote the new channel.
Yeah, maybe.
Every
Let's
time
get that.
Sorry, every time that you're gonna post a goal, I'm getting ready to hear the good tune.
Yeah, normally I do that, but now I have another post. You know, you have to change sometimes, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding.
I know. LCR.
Okay, anything else?
No. For me, it's fine.
Good. Savo is happy. Reko is happy. Okay, let's try LCR maybe when we have him on. Or
Hey, what's up, Rico?
yo, it's good, brother. How are you?
I'm fine, man. I'm fine. I'm actually happy to see for 2 days in a row, the market, crypto market, everything in green and everything going up. That's good.
Yeah, it's like up for 50% almost Steam in the last 7 days, I think.
Yeah, more money is getting into it. So that's my post, and I wanted to just say that finally, thanks to Freedom, also to Crazy Krista, I had access to a little bit more of a way to provide more rewards for contests, right? I want to start doing this to promote the hashtag of Wear Your Steam and help other people to find opportunities and ideas to write about, because sometimes you struggle. I mean, I do. Sometimes I struggle on what to write on Steam because I'm not a writer. So I came up with an idea of promoting the hashtag of Wear Your Steam. At the same time, you're helping others to have ideas to write about something. So
it's a great idea.
Yeah, thank you. So basically, the contest is that students have to take a picture of an important landmark in their city or town. It could be a video, and they have to show the Steam logo in the picture, no Photoshop. You know, it could be a flag with the Steam logo printed. It could be even a white paper with the Steam logo nicely painted and just appear in the picture. You know, it could be a selfie. If you want to be anonymous, like a lot of people like to, that's okay. You just have to find a way to show the Steam logo with the landmark, and you have to write about that landmark, you know, the history behind it or what it is about, so everyone can learn from it as well. So if you see in the post, you're gonna see the rewards. We're gonna have 3 winners. There are Welshers tokens for the winners. The SBD rewards, auto rewards are gonna be split also for the winners. And that Sweeney guy that he had to leave earlier, he's going to make a custom t-shirt with the Steam logo and the user Steam name on it for the first winner. And it's going to be a really cool thing. You know, I'll have people writing to me privately saying that they're going to participate and they like the idea. I hope to get rewards to give away, you know, as I can, because more ideas are coming to keep promoting Steam blockchain. You know, that's what it is.
It is indeed, and I love it. It's I think it's a great thing, and more people should try to promote the Steam blockchain. To be honest, it's the best blockchain out there. I was just thinking, have you thought about using the promo Steam tag? It's could be a good idea for this one.
You know, Rico, I didn't know until the promo Steam until I heard one of your posts when you were in the backyard of your house or in your town with that megaphone, you know, promoting. And I started to read about you, and I have some questions for you, but I will DM you after. Of course, man, anything that could help so we can all work together, because at the end of the day, kind of like eating from the same table, you know, all of us. So yeah, thank you. I'll look into that. I'll DM you, and of course, if I could get in also, if you know.
Yeah, I definitely recommend that for anyone doing promotional work for Steam, because we have great progress on the Steam promo Steam actually community. And it works like this. I'm a Steam ambassador, and there are plenty of Steam ambassadors. And if you get 3 upvotes from Steam ambassadors, you get a big upvote from the Steam ambassador account. So if you just change one of your tags, like the Steam it to promo Steam, you'll probably get an upvote.
Well, my friend, I still can edit it. I just posted yesterday, so whatever we can put into the pile that could be positive for the objective, you know, is very welcome.
Yeah, for sure. Does anyone have any questions? Or I have a question first, maybe. Do you have you created anything yourself, any clothes or anything, or have you bought anything with Steam related?
Well, I paid for a haircut of $3 once here in my town. One of my posts, you will see it. Where I had the Steam logo on my head. But with a group of people in Panama City, crypto enthusiasts, friend of mine, including Clive AOB, which is here with us, we are quoting a company to make some t-shirts with the Steam logo and the Wear Your Steam tag. So it's coming along. So I'm gonna start wearing those.
Awesome. Does anyone else have any questions?
Yes. So when it comes down to this contest, you stated that we can't Photoshop the Steam logo into anything in particular. So is there a way to actually participate without having to spend money physically? And how would you go about doing so?
Well, I had that question in one of my DM. I mean, somebody DM me. And listen, the most important thing is to write about your landmark and have the picture and be original. If you get like a white paper, for example, and you draw the Steam blockchain and you paint it, I don't think that's gonna cost a lot of money, right? And you can just, take a picture of yourself with the landmark behind you and just write about it. That counts. You don't need to spend too much money on that. You have to be creative, put a little bit of mind on it. I have somebody that, somebody is gonna even go to a beach and take a picture and just draw the Steam logo on the sand, because where he lives, one of the beaches is very important, and that's valid too. You can even have a body paint in your face with this Steam logo. You can even print it on a flag or on a t-shirt, whatever. It doesn't have to, you don't have to go too expensive for that.
Yeah, exactly. I use cardboard and just paint it on that. It's quite easy to just. I guess it's just your creativity is the limit. You can do anything.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add that if you've seen the post, the pictures I used, obviously I had to Photoshop it a little bit, and I put all the sources of the pictures at the end of the post, because there is not too much people around the world wearing the Steam logo. Of course, there are plenty of people with T-shirts, yes, but I kind of wanted to do my post presenting landmarks in the back. You can't find someone with the Steam logo originally with a very important landmark in the back. So that's what I did. I took all those pictures. I tried to Photoshop a little bit, and I came up with that. But yeah, for the post, you gotta be original, my friend.
Yeah, really cool. I know, like, there's a Steamian called Quinnaker, and I think he creates a lot of different Steam-related paraphernalia and clothes and stuff, so you can check him out. But maybe he hasn't, like, in front of a landmark, but he might be interested in participating as well.
Queen what?
Quinnaker. I'll post the username soon.
Thank you very much, Rico. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thank you, LCR. Any last questions or any last words, LCR?
Last words.
Nice, thanks. Okay, next person up is
Rico. You're dipping in a...
Nikema, are you here? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, Nikema, are you here? Nikema. Calling Nikema. Nikemo. No luck. Yay, we hear you loud and clear. Good, how are you? What do you have for us tonight?
Nothing.
I think she said she's just listening, Rico.
Yeah, I'm just listening.
Who's singing in the background?
Oh, there's kids Skyping in the background.
Okay. Well, it's nice that you have a good time then. Let's try with
we want to trip the spider.
Spider?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you a little bit low, maybe, but we can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yep, perfect.
Okay, so tonight I will offer you a choice. Do you want to hear about pirates or about beer?
Beer.
Okay. Give me a second to fetch my post. But I'll start talking while I'm fetching it. So a few days ago, so I was inactive for past 2 weeks because I was on the festival and stuff like that, and I come back to the bar where we started, where I'm working with a team that was going to the festival, and the bar says to me that there is beer to go opened in Zagreb, and that is our first beer to go in Croatia. And I check it out, and it happens to be 5 minutes walk from my home. So I went to visit it, and it is great. It offers Croatian craft beers, only Croatian craft beers. They have 46 beers on the list right now, which you can buy. But what is very important, they have a home delivery service where you can order your beer.
No way.
And they also deliver beers from tap. They actually deliver draft beers. They have cans, beer cans, which they close on the place, and they draft your beer inside and deliver it to your home. They are switching up the beers every month. They switch the beers that are on tap. The offer that is in bottles is regular, but it is raising up. They are really cheap. They are one of the cheapest place in Croatia where you can get those beers. I mean, I went there and they had the beer that is from another brewery that is cheaper than you can get. So I bought 3 beers take home, more than the spot, and then more surprised when I came down and discovered that there is another venue open just below where you can also have a beer, but they don't. It is a bar, but they are also offering craft beer, but not Croatian craft beer. So I've literally found out that in the past month, the 2 places opened up next to my home, and one is offering only Croatian craft beer, and another is offering only foreign craft beer. So I'm really happy right now.
Wow, I might have to move to Croatia. Actually, to be honest, Sweden sucks. This is so nice. Like, how much
in Croatia, the regular beer costs around $2.50. The expensive ones cost around $4 or $5.
And is that like in a bar, like the semi bar? Or
In a bar,
Yeah.
In a
Wow.
shop, you can get regular beer for $1 to $1.50.
Nice. Yeah, I might pay you a visit someday.
Yeah, I see that Savo is saying that the best ones is a Belgian beer. I have to agree that one of 2 favorite countries of beer production is Belgium for me, but don't forget about Germany, man. Germany has some amazing beers.
Yeah, the Pilsner, but not
I
beer.
don't like pills. I love ales, stouts, and porters the most. I love heavy beers with lots of alcohol in them, with lots of malt and the sweet tastes. In Croatia, we have our scene bursted up. A few years ago, we only had 7 different commercial beers. Right now, we have around 80 different craft beers, and the number is rising amazingly. And also in the post, you will find I have a beer review, and I reviewed the worst one from those that I bought, because when I got home, the first thing was I opened up a bottle and I said I will drink the beer and write a post about and review this beer. And later I drank 2 of the others, and they were both better.
Do you have Untapped, the app?
Yeah, this motivated me to reactivate it. I haven't used my Untapped for 2 years. I used it for a short time, and now I started with it like 3 days ago.
What?
Untapped. It is something like Facebook for beers. You have application where you rate beers and write short.
Oh, nice. I haven't heard about that one. I should check it out. Can you? Is the link in the post?
No, because I didn't. I think Sevo asked me, or someone else. I didn't see who was speaking, but I think from the voice that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you can rate and you can talk about special beers, and it motivates you to go on a search for the special beers. You know, the special ones, not the commercial ones, but the special ones. But all beers can be tasted and rated.
Yep.
Cool.
Do you have Untapped, Sevo?
Yeah.
Oh, we will have to friend each other.
Yeah, I will send you a DM.
Nice.
Yeah, this is a great post. I really like it. It's a bit torture for me though. Freedom even said I couldn't drink tonight, so this is even worse. I'm just looking at the picture and it's like drowling, and yeah, it's not good. But
Freedom.
The post is good.
Freedom,
I'm
why
sorry,
are you
Rico.
so
I'm
cool?
really sorry, but I need you sober for this role. I do apologise about that. But you can start drinking in a minute.
Don't be cruel, Freedom.
Well, you know, there's got to be some order with this. You know, it would be very funny though if we all turned up pissed. I mean, I think it'd be a great show. That.
Haven't you heard about order out of chaos, Freedom?
Sorry, Rico.
Order out of chaos.
Exactly. Yeah, we could create something quite amazing. You're right.
Freedom, I have a suggestion for you. On the next St. Paddy's, make a drunken version of this show, and no one is allowed to turn out.
I'm in.
That would be amazing. I would love that very much. I might have to actually seriously consider that, you know.
It would be legendary. Okay, thank you guys. It was lovely to be a part of this, and I think I'll leave it back to Freedom Exists now.
Thank you very much, Rico, and thank you for your efforts. You did a fantastic job. It's good to have a Swede on the show, so thank you very much for that. Are you going to come back Sunday?
For sure, I'll be back better, stronger, and maybe with
more
a beer
drunk
this time. Yeah. Sorry.
That was great. No, but thank you for that, and thank you also to Trip the Spider. Great post. There it is. One more time, guys. Get voting on it. Okay, so for those of you that have already presented a post, go ahead and DM me your BitShares username now, and I'll get you all some whale shares at the end of the show. So don't forget, do go ahead now and DM me your BitShares username, and I'll get you some whale shares. And I would advise you just hodl those whale shares for the moment, because there's lots of exciting things going on with whale shares. So just hold on to them is my advice, but it's entirely up to you what you do with them, of course. Right, okay, I'm going to try fitting in a few more. I am now going to ask Black Libertario, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello.
Hello, Freedom. How are you?
I'm well, sir. How are you?
Well, doing great. Just coming back from the college.
Oh, how was college?
Well, has been better.
All right, then. Let's not dwell on that. What have you got for us?
Well, I think this one you're going to enjoy. It is called Human Nature. Are we good or bad? Okay. Do you hear me?
We can hear you. I can hear you rustling around. So maybe you should just settle down, focus, and talk to me.
Yeah. Well, and the other day I was watching the Harry Potter movie, and I listened to a quote that Sirius Black said, "We have all got both light and dark inside us. What matters is the part we choose to act on. That's who we really are." And based on that quote, I start, developing this post, because I have always had this inner debate on whether the human nature is it good or bad. I mean, I've read a lot of philosophy. I have read Nietzsche. I have read Kant. I have read Rousseau. I have read a lot of philosophers who always talks about this point, and they always make a stand for a position. They are always biased. I mean, some of them say that we are evil. Some of them, others, say that we are good. So, you know, there's nothing in concrete so far. And I started looking for answers on science, and there's a experiment of Stanley Milgram after the World War II, in which he determined that human nature was meant to be evil, but there was another study, a recent study from Yale and Harvard University, which stated that we are actually good persons, and it is inherent in us to promote selflessness, altruism. So what I came to this conclusion was that, there's always this debate whether we are good or bad, and no one really understands what we really are. When I read that quote, I understood. It's like I enlightened myself just by that quote. We are neither or fully bad or good. We are just ambivalent. There we are a body in which two metaphysics forces coexist, and that's it, man. We can't be fully bad or fully good, and we decide which part or which sign we want to be.
Well, you focus in your own post on the French philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and I think that he got it right. I think, I'm talking about the vast majority of human beings now when I say this. I think that the vast majority of human beings are good by nature, as Jean-Jacques Rousseau also believed, but that certain factors or events influence human beings, which then make them do bad things. Sometimes you can blame it on them, and you can apportion blame, because we all have, to a certain degree, a certain freedom to make up our own decisions, draw our own conclusions. But I'm afraid, given the amount of freedom that we truly have, which is not as much as maybe we really think, I'm afraid we are forced into situations where human beings do things they wouldn't naturally do if they were given more natural freedoms. So this is a big debate, and I'm sure people have different opinions, but I do believe that the vast, vast majority of human beings, now I'm talking 99% really, of human beings are good by nature. Unfortunately, due to certain situations they are placed into, it will force human beings to behave in a way they wouldn't normally do.
Okay.
And I'm afraid governments have a big part to play in that, but that is not to take away from individuals who also must make the right decision. A lot of people don't make the right decision, and I'm afraid that's the bad part. But unfortunately, it's all part of the same argument. The 99%, the 1% who are born bad, it's literally in their DNA. It's literally part of who they are. They're evil or they're bad. Okay, but that's 1%. The 99%, I believe, are good by nature.
There's plenty of evidence, to support each side, whether we're good or whether we are bad. And what I'm trying to state in this post is that this debate shouldn't be focused on those spectrums. There's another one in which nobody is talking about, like the medium, like the Gauss bell. Everything in the middle is just the perfect amount of something, and this is what I was trying to catch the attention of the readers. And well, I do understand what you mean by Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Of course, I've read his De Chivet work. It was really awesome for me, but I still don't understand something about it. If the human being is the one who creates the society, how could the society be bad? You see, if the human beings,
because libertario, what happens is that in any group of people, there's going to be that 1%. I'm not going to go back to those statistics anymore. But I'm afraid within any society, any given society, there will be people who will seize power, and they will then manipulate things. There are always bad people around, and sadly, can I just finish? Sorry. Sadly, it is, and I think history has proven this, when you look at governments and the way they behave and the way they treat their own people, you have plenty of examples of governments doing bad things to their own people, doing wrong things to their own people. You have to question why.
Yeah, I do understand what powers mean, but I do also believe that all human beings are in seek of power. I mean, we are all, even if you say you're dumb, you are expecting to be something else. To be that something else, you need power. You see what I mean? I mean, I understand how government works, and I'm a libertarian, which means that I don't support big governments. I believe in theory on small governments, but what I was trying to focus on these articles is the middle. I mean, I do believe that everyone is bad and everyone is good, but you are the right person to choose whether you are good or bad.
Well, at the end of the day, I suppose self-judgment could arguably be the only judgment, but I think there's a separate argument. In some ways, that's a separate argument. But this is a great post, Libertario. I think it provokes an interesting debate. And again, I could talk hours about this, but it's a fantastic post.
We can talk about it later.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so we're running out of time. Any comments or questions for Black Libertario?
I know you're running out of time. I just wanted to say something.
Sure.
Great. So, you know, if you read a little bit of history, how humans have been more, before in history, we were more cruel. How do you say that in English? Cruel. Cruel, yes. And when more the time pass, you have evolution, and you know, we learn about our mistakes. Things. So before, humans were really, you know, you have, man, if you compare how we live, the things have done today compared with it was in the past, you know, the past was horrible. But eventually, I believe that little by little, we're gonna get to better persons. You know, it's just evolution.
Yeah, I would develop your argument. I know that freedom is running out of time, so I'm not going to say anything. Thank you for your comment, and well, we can talk.
No, okay, don't worry, man.
No, hang on. Libertario, I think LCR makes an interesting point. It'd be great if you could respond to it. Don't worry.
Okay, well, and also I think that answers you. I mean, in the past we used to be bad, but nowadays we are developing with science and with logics and with empirical evidence, and that all is within the society. So you see, the society is the one that is trying to make us better. I mean, we have developed tolerance, we have developed, the rates of poverty nowadays are just declining, and you see the society has something good and also something bad, because it has power, but it also has power to change people to be better.
Yeah, I get you. Depends of where you look at, you know.
Yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, I thought everyone was good. Then when I entered to the college, I thought everyone was bad. And nowadays, I mean, I'm just in the medium, you know, in the middle. I'm sorry, in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting point to make. I think when we're young, obviously, we see the world through rose-tinted spectacles. Everything's great. Everyone's nice, you know. That's that lovely sort of magical childish experience that we've all had, hopefully. Maybe not all of us, but I think a lot of us have had. But as we get older, you realize, hang on a minute, stuff is going on here. Bad stuff is going on, and it makes people do bad things.
I mean, when I started getting negative and believing that human beings were bad, was when you know that Venezuela went to a crisis with repression from the government and all that stuff. It was in that current moment that I started believing that we were bad by nature. But well, I don't know. That's a very philosophic and very deep conversation to have. We can talk about this hours and hours.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
hello everyone. Can I just say something, please?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to say this in very short forms that are good and that are bad. And then you don't expect everyone to be good, and you don't expect everyone to be bad. If there is no bad side of a thing, then definitely you won't appreciate the good side. And likewise, if there is no good side, then everything will be chaos. Yeah. So we just have to accept it that there are good things, there are good government, and there are bad government. There are more people seeking for power, and even though more people are seeking for power, not everyone will get that power. So it's just as simple as that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Okay, awesome. That's where we'll leave it. Thank you for that. Interesting post. Great post. Very detailed.
Thank
very
you, thank you.
You're very welcome, guys. Get voting on that. Really good post. Good debate. Okay, gonna try fitting in just a couple more. Clive, ALB, are you there?
Yeah, I hope so, because my internet today has been terrible.
You're very quiet, but we can hear you.
All right, what about now? Can you hear me? Is it a bit better?
It's a little bit better, but just make sure you keep your voice up, yeah?
Sure. All right, so my post, I hope you can see it. Basically, can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
All right. So today I just wanted to talk about the word woodshedding and how I believe this word can also work for language learning, because woodshedding is this term that jazz musicians use when they just do the hard work of copying cliches and phrases from jazz standards, and they work very hard on those. And once they get the time to join other musicians, they know all of these phrases and all these things, basically the language to communicate with other musicians and perform, right? So in my opinion, this process is quite similar to the language learning process. So I just drew some parallels there, and also a few options of how people can woodshed on whatever language is that they are learning. Sorry. And yeah, so there you go. Woodshedding, lingo for musicians, and it can be magic for language learners.
Okay, well, I've learned something there. I like that, woodshedding. And this is the word that you call a process of learning through that. Well, practice makes perfect. Is that what you're saying? Clive?
Could you repeat that? I didn't get that.
Yeah, woodshedding. I'm just trying to understand. Is that literally the same to be used in place of practice makes perfect?
Right. So it's a term that is thrown around musicians. For example, oh man, I'm gonna woodshed on my Coltrane phrases, or Miles Davis, whatever it is. So you basically go on your own, you isolate yourself, and practice very hard, and then when you get to a jam session, you know the language, and you can communicate with them.
So woodshedding is basically repeat practicing. Nice. I didn't know that. That's a great term. Interesting term indeed. But no, I think you're right. I mean, it is a bit of a cliche. Practice makes perfect, but it's one of those cliches that are true. There's a lot of truth to it, and you can take that and you can apply it to all sorts of things and scenarios. Where you're learning something. But no, it's absolutely tons of truth in that. Great post. Good stuff. Okay, any comments or questions for Clive?
I do have a question. Well, and also a comment. As a jazz musician, I also understand that woodshedding is a practical assimilation of information where you take phrases of music and you just essentially learn the phrase. Now you can improvise it within an actual structure of a track and then use it as improvisation. But also, I have a question for you. How would you use this in a form of learning a new language? Would you just keep it simple by, practically stating simple words and going for the low-hanging fruit, or do you advise people to push themselves and advance words at the same time?
Well, it depends on your needs. For instance, when I was starting to learn French, what I did, my way of woodshedding was setting Siri or Google Now, whatever it was, into French, right? And what I did is that I constantly asked Siri or Google Now for the weather. So, va-t-il pleuvoir aujourd'hui? I did that every single day, and until it became part of me. Now I just say things like in an effortless way. So then I just keep going up, like working the way up. If in difficulty, I mean, I get you of course go for hanging fruit at the beginning. As jazz improvising, you learn the lick. This one da 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 da, which is a simple melody, but you can find it. So then you start learning Coltrane phrases, and then you go on and just build your way up. So the same goes for language. Like learn how you use connectors, for example, where you just say a phrase da 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 and or to sound more natural. That's pretty much what I was aiming at.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that, Clive. Great post. Bit of a singing voice came through there. We might need to hear more of that, but thank you very much. It's a great post. Okay, going to move on. I'm going to try and fit in. Seodis, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Seodis. Hello, we're running out of time, but what's your post for us?
Okay, sure. Yeah, okay, that's my post. It's about self. I titled it 7 Strategies for Everything.
Could I ask you just to stop, stop the motorbike there? Just turn the engine off a minute.
What's up, scooter?
Is that a scooter or a Harley Davidson?
I know you're kind of teasing me right now.
I'm sorry, Seodis. Go on.
No worries about that. Okay, it's about 7 strategies one can go for a better body image. Like some people get dissatisfied with their body, and it should not happen. We should cherish our body and think positive about our body. So I started to write about this, and the strategies you should believe in yourself. Don't don't allow anyone to pull you down. Learn to accept compliment from others. Don't divert it to something else. Just accept it and thank that person. And show respect for your body and see things in different ways. Don't just ignore things about you or put yourself down and thinking that your body is not okay. Don't look at your body as uh, an ornament. Don't use it as an ornament, but as an instrument. Use your body as an instrument of good and positive thing. And then I thought that you can just read the post. I don't want to read out to you. I just want to summarize it so you can have a hint of what is there. And then you should learn to look in the mirror and see good thing about yourself. It's so many like that. So you can just read it and get something out of it. Thank you.
Yeah, this is an interesting post, Theodis. Quite different for you. I think it's a great post. I would say that I think you're right. When people see images, it's this media construct of how how beauty actually is, when in actual reality it isn't quite like that. And that's just the media again, isn't it? It's saying, you know, you're beautiful if you look like this. But as we know, there are all sorts of different types of beauty out there, which is not reflected in the media, in magazines or films or whatever. But it's a big part. And I think this is a good post which challenges that, because a lot of it's kind of mental, it's psychological, you know. And I think, you know, to focus on this is a good thing to do. You've listed 7 strategies there. I think every single one of them is brilliant. If there was one, though, that would be the most important, which one would it be out of the 7?
The one actually that I'll go for the most is that you should respect your body. Like, don't say that you are just an ordinary person. You just look at what can judge to you about your body as a good one, and pamper your body, you know, in a very good, and then you feel all right and good about yourself.
Yeah, well said. Absolutely. Good post. Thank you for that. Any comments or questions?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just a comment. I just like this post so much. I think the 7 strategies are to make you self-confident, and I agree that looking at people at the media isn't good because they take much effort to look better. I think if they just wash their faces, we will see another person. That's why I like this point so much. The other point is learn to look at the mirror. It's similar to if I give you a full white paper, had a black point in the middle, and asked you what you see in this paper, you'll just tell me I see a black point, and you'll just ignore all the white paper. So instead of looking at the people who are more beautiful than us, we can look at the people who are less beautiful. So I think this post can really give self-confidence. So thank you so much for this post. See.
And thank you for it. I appreciate that.
I think that's a good point, because it is about self-confidence, and sometimes, you know, when we're in a certain circle of friends, or we've got certain work colleagues, or even certain family members, coupled with media constructs that we see all around us in films and TV, we can often get a very, very negative impression about our own bodies. So confidence about our own bodies is very, very important. But it's a great post. Thank you for that, Seoris. I'll let you get back on your bike, and I hope you win that.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm going to put the link up one more time. There it is. Nice post. Okay, I'm going to fit in one more, and then I have to wrap up. And don't forget, those who've already presented the post, DM me your BitShares username. Cubby, are you?
Little.
There she is. That American voice. How are you?
That American voice. Oh man, I am doing swell.
I'm doing very well. What I mean is that very, very sweet American.
I'll take it. I've never been referred to as the American voice, but hey, I'm sure it's better than some others could be called.
Yeah, probably. But we won't get...
Surely we won't. I have a treat for all of you. I don't know if you have seen a member by the name of Negativer. He's a close friend who lives here in South Florida nearby me. Recently, he wrote this post, which is ironic because I've recently also joined a 22-day vegan challenge. And this is probably one of 3 posts that I have seen bashing the vegan diet. But he does it in a humorous way. slide. And I think the next update I do of the vegan challenge next week will address some of the points that this post brought up and some of the others. But if you haven't heard of Negativer, he is hilarious. He's a writer. He lives in South Florida. He's a web designer. And the voice and the words he chooses to use combined together is quite funny, especially when he writes about his personal life and his wife. So if you're looking for a good chuckle, I'd recommend you read this post.
Unless you're gonna flag me. Then somebody stole my account.
Yes, the opening line is brilliant. He is so funny, and surely you're going to enjoy the rest of it as well. It is very, very funny, and then you can even read the comments, which is even more entertaining. Him and I go back and forth a little bit as well, which I think is priceless. If you don't follow him, I highly recommend that you do. He writes a lot of fiction, which I'm actually not a fan of his fiction. I'm more of a fan of when he writes other like non-story-like posts. But if you like fiction, then you'll like his post. If you like a hilarious writer, you'll like his post. And if you follow any of these different type of diets or lifestyles, you'll definitely like this post as well. So for your entertainment, from the sweet American voice, I bring to you the vegan, the vegetarian, pescatarian, and other strange, terrible creature comedy post.
This is such a very well written post. I will be following this guy. He's extremely funny, very talented guy. But tell us a little bit more though about this diet thing that was going on. And what is a pescatarian?
A pescatarian is a vegetarian that eats fish. And so I've joined a 22-day vegan challenge that Heart to Heart is putting together. And it's basically people who can create creative meals, and it's basically following a celebrity who's decided to go vegan for the next 22 days. The esteemed author, Heart to Heart, has been vegan for several years, and she thought, well, if a celebrity's doing it and I love to do it, let me challenge all of my followers to do it as well. And she's going to give out prizes for anyone who does it.
Are you going to do it?
I should say. Yes, this is actually our first week of the challenge, and if you'd like, I can show you the post that I wrote of my reflection of the first week of it, which is kind of fun.
So I need to ask you, Cubby, are you going vegan, vegetarian, or pescatarian?
I did go vegetarian for a little while and then realized that I really love seafood more than I love anything else. So I was pescatarian for a very, very long time, and then I kind of just fell off the bandwagon. And then I've played with the idea of being vegan, but I really, really enjoy cheese and fish. So I don't think I'll ever go full-time vegan because I don't believe in animals living. I do think we should kill them and eat them and utilize them to the fullest. So I don't think the vegan lifestyle would be for me.
Oh gosh, that sounds horrendous. That sounds so harsh.
Oh yes, man. Yeah, I like it.
Well, at least go grow your own food then.
Spoken from the heart, you know.
My gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, when the sweet American goes all butch on us.
That was just completely out of nowhere. Okay, well, anyway, we certainly know your thoughts.
I'm not going to kill them all. I feel like animals were made to be eaten, and so as they should. I never look at an animal and think, oh, that's so cute. I always think, oh, that looks so delicious. And so I don't think the vegan lifestyle is for me, and I think that he makes an interesting point of it.
Even
also.
dogs, though?
Yeah, I would eat cats and dogs if they didn't look so gross. But
No, that's too far for me. A good chicken dinner is great, but my favorite dog.
I believe there is a place for each God's creature in this world, and that is right between my salad and potato.
My man.
I must beg to differ because of the effects of the climate that this slaughter is bringing on forth. But also the fact that the human intestines aren't necessarily designed genetically to absorb all the nutrients that we need. I'm just saying the facts. Like, I'm just stating the facts. It is what it is. Also, I am a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian for 12 years, 13 years. I'm a male, And, you know, I just freaking love my tofu. I like my tempeh, you know. I just eat portobello burgers instead of real burgers, you know. That's just the way it is. And honestly, I do think that animals deserve to live free. They do not deserve to be crammed into tiny little cages where they can't even spread their wings. And also, I don't believe that calves deserve to be taken away from their mothers and be raised separate. That's just terrible. That's horrible.
I agree. I think the way that we treat animals nowadays is stupid, and it's actually bad for our health. And so the chickens that we have at our house are free range. All the birds we've had have never been in cage. We've always left them open. So I do think that how we treat animals is ridiculous and should be changed.
Yeah, I think there is a separate argument with animal welfare and whether or not it's okay to eat meat or not. There's kind of two different arguments there.
Yeah. Factory farming does release a ton of CO2, more than developing plants for electric cars and fossil fuel-based cars. And honestly, it could be averted. It really could be if people choose to just eat less. You don't have to eat. You don't have to stop eating it. Just eat less. It just makes sense.
But we should eat more. If we eat all the cows, if we eat all the cows, there will be no one destroying the atmosphere.
No. Okay, that's not how it works. You just got my back.
Just joking, man. Just joking, man.
Man, I mean, I think I won't never be able to quit meat. I mean,
I think you would. I think you'd be surprised. I think if you try it for a while, you'd be surprised at how easy it is to give up meat. But for me personally, to give up meat because of how we treat animals is not motivation enough, because I do believe we should kill animals. I just think that we should treat them differently while they are living in order for us to have healthier meat. But that's not that. For those reasons, I wouldn't become a vegan because I don't believe in all of that. But the 22-day challenge is more of changing the way that I see food. And like he said, if we eat less and if we view food as something that nourishes our body, quality and all of that, we live a healthier lifestyle. So some do choose to go vegan, others go vegetarian, others go pescatarians, others.
I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't you think it is necessary to eat meat? I mean, there are nutrients that you can find in meat that you can't find in other places, such as vegetables, and I don't know.
B12.
I think anyone who makes the argument that you can't get the nutrients from meat doesn't know what nutrients are found in meat, because you can find every nutrient that you would get in meat in other substances
No, he's right.
that are far richer.
He's right, fully.
You don't need meat in order to live. There's plenty of people who live healthier lives without meat, and even with stricter diets, because they truly get what the nutrients come with directly, with the root of it all.
Okay, but what I want you, what I expect from you is not to turn into a moral vegan, you see, because there are people who believe because they are vegan, they are superior moral, you see. So I expect you to not become that. Sorry.
I have one last thing to state. Just
if
the
you
fact
could be
that
quick, £10 sterling, I'd be grateful.
I'm terribly sorry. But I live in America, and in America we throw away a ton of food, like a lot of food. I see a lot of wasted meat that people just don't digest. People just don't care to eat, and it's literally just like a vicious cycle of waste and death and waste and death. It's not good. That's all.
Awesome. Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. £10 sterling. For LCR, yeah, if you're very quick.
All right, I just wanted to say, this is what I believe. We are humans. We came to the world with hands, with fingers. Fingers to grab the fruit from the tree and to take the vegetables from the ground. We don't need to kill animals to eat meat. It's bullshit. It's bullshit that you have to eat meat to get nutrients or proteins. You can find out all that in vegetables and fruits. The way that people and the media and the commerce are telling us that we need to eat meat is wrong. Do you really know what happens to those animals before the meat of their animals comes to your plate? You don't. You should look and research about that.
Well, LCR, hang on a minute. You may have missed it because I don't know, we did say that animal welfare certainly needs looking at. There is a separate argument with animal welfare, in addition to the separate argument of whether it's right or not to eat meat.
All right, I understand that, but I read all these posts and I see people writing stuff like you know, like we should eat meat because we find nutrients in the meat, and somebody else just wrote, "Oh, don't eat vegetables because plants can feel pain," which is also bullshit. A brain central system. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say.
Okie dokie. Right, Cubby, it was your post. Anything you want to say lastly?
And I was just saying, this is just a fun twist on the different various types of diets that are out there. Like I mentioned, I have personal reasons why I am not a vegan and don't believe in it, but I think it's funny how people view it, and I am 22-day challenge for it. My post that covers it as to why I'm doing it in my adventures along the way, and posted there. He is so funny and hilarious and a wonderful writer. If you love fiction, and if you don't, he caters to both audiences. So I'd recommend you guys check it out. Didn't mean to start an argument, but it was great to hear everyone's points, and I think it's awesome that we can talk about it and see different points of views, because the more we share, the more we learn, the better we get every day, even if we come to the conclusion to agree to disagree.
Absolutely, well said. I'm going to end it now. So thank you very much for that, Cubby. Great post, good discussion. Might provoke feelings and anger in some cases, but it's a discussion, and we want to keep it all civilized. But it's a good post, and thank you for that, Cubby. Get voting on it, guys. I am going to now wrap up. We are half an hour over, but hey, it's all good. Don't forget, those of you who have presented a post, DM me your BitShares username, and I'll get you all some well shares. Thank you to everybody who presented a post tonight. It's been a very lively show, and I'm sorry to those that didn't get in. I am sorry. I've got through as many as I possibly can. And lastly, thank you to Rico. Did a fantastic job as my assistant host tonight. I'm very, very, very pleased that you're here, and I look forward to Sunday's show, and that is when our next show is. So don't forget, hopefully we will see you then. Until then, guys, take care.